English translation, 375th contact. Friday, 28th of January, 2005, Vidzuriyo, 07 hours.
Be greeted, dear friend. I see you have already brought the disc back.
For my part, I also greet you, my friend. Yes, I can already return the disc because Zaphanat Paniach worked very fast. However, his work was not easy because the 3.5 pages were in extremely bad condition regarding the writing. A large part of them had already faded completely, so much of it was indecipherable. Even the residues of the transfer liquid had evaporated so much in the 54 years that nothing more could be reconstructed. Zaphanat Paniach, however, is very cunning about such things, so he used a technique he developed to make microscopically small fibers of the paper visible, which changed their structure due to the transfer fluid and thus remained intact. This special technique made it possible to make the invisible visible again, but not for the eyes, but only on a screen of one of his computers. He was then able to transfer the data thus created to your floppy disk, which you should immediately read into your computer as he requested. With your permission, he would like the disk back if you can spare it.
There is no question about that, because of course, he can have it. Then I want to read it in as soon as the computer boots up. The whole thing does not take long. Well, that is already done, so here is the disk back. I will insert the letter in the contact report of the 21st of January, as I said. Give Zaphanat Paniach my sincere thanks and best regards.
It was a great pleasure for him to be able to do something for you. He told me to tell you.
On the contrary, it is a great honor for me that he made the effort for me.
Interesting, because his opinion coincides with yours, because he also spoke of a great honor that he was allowed to be helpful to you. But now, dear friend, I want to draw your attention to something. Do you know what day it is today?
I think so. Yes, my watch shows the date January 28th, but why do you ask? I do not understand.
Actually, you are not thinking about it.
What was I thinking about?
Today, 30 years have passed since you first came into contact with my daughter Simya Se, outside Hinwil in Frecht.
Really, my friend, I had not thought of that. Really, how quickly time passes. At that time, I was still a young man, so to speak, and today I am already an older codger, and soon I will belong to the scrap heap. As young people say today, I am an old fogey or compost, so to speak.
The age is not of significance, but the love, the knowledge, and the wisdom, and of that.
All right, Ptah, I know what is coming, but it is not necessary. You mean well, and for that I thank you. Man, how time flies. 30 years.
During which time you worked and created so much.
You forget that this was only possible because of the cooperation, help and dedication of all the members of the group, and the help and dedication of all the passive members and all the good and valuable friends around, without whom I would have been stuck.
That corresponds to the truth. I have not forgotten that. Especially the core group members, but also the direct and indirect help of all passive members who have contributed to the mission's success. Nevertheless, your achievements correspond in every conceivable respect to merits that cannot be equated with material values. Often your tireless efforts have required more than your last strengths, and your achievements will not be easily imitated. Very often I have asked myself where you got all the initiative, the strength and the perseverance from, and where you continued the whole mission with all the bells and whistles, through all the ups and downs again and again, and turned it into what the Figu Association has worthily and honorably shown today. And this, dear friend, is not only my opinion, but the opinion of all of us, as well as that of the core group members and the passive group members who know about this.
It is probably better not to say anything.
I would have to oppose any refusal of my words on your part.
All good. It is okay because I do not want to say anything against it because I would probably lose. But I do have a question that has arisen from our nightly correction work. All the conversations that Svath had with me, were they actually recorded? If so, could I have them transmitted to me so that I could perhaps publish them as an introductory volume?
All the conversations between you and my father Svath were, of course, recorded electronically. But they are probably not suitable for publication on the earth because the recordings contain all the teachings that my father taught you and from which you have acquired much of your knowledge. And indeed it would not be advisable, but extremely unwise, to make all that was taught to you accessible to the earth humans because irresponsible things would be called which would cause great dangers.
I have not thought of these things, but of the normal conversations that Svath and I had together.
These were not supposed to be made available to the public, because it would not be understood that a boy at such a young age, as you were then, would have such extensive conversations with a very educated adult. Already the fact that you were able to speak and write very early on caused you difficulties, and only in the relationship that Teacher Fry was very malicious and abused you severely.
In the end, I did not care, but I never understood why he showed me such hatred. With all the other teachers, the exact opposite was the case.
His hatred was rooted in jealousy and envy because he could not get along with the fact that you knew many things that were foreign to him. And another factor was your good German language, which you already had a good command of spoken and written German, as you learned it from my father. Also the fact that you often had a better knowledge of the animal, insect, bird, and plant world during school excursions than he did, he could not cope with, nor that you could outdo him in singing and sports. He also disliked you because you showed great skill in the crafts and outdid him in them. Your 3 ravens that you raised were also a thorn in his side, besides the fact that you were often able to do blasting work with your father. So he envied you all around, which resulted from the fact that he was not capable of all the things you had already mastered when you had to go to his class. He felt insulted and abysmally ashamed by you, because he was not capable of the same achievements in these things as you were capable of in your boyhood and youth. That was the real reason why he harassed you so often and beat you so violently that you were in constant pain.
I did not know that, but I do know that I felt regret for the man all the time, even when he beat me with his blackthorn truncheon so badly that I could no longer sit and hardly walk or stand. But in those days, it was still the case that teachers could beat up their pupils to the letter without the school authorities doing anything about it. The parents had no chance at all to intervene against this beating. And since that was the order of the day, I fought back in my own way, by playing hooky with Teacher Frey and taking more than 170 unexcused absences in a single year.
Which did not harm you in terms of learning and education, because you enjoyed much better lessons with my father Svath than you would have been able to with this Teacher Frey. I know that your father's friend, Fritz Seidel, who was a true arithmetic genius, gave you arithmetic lessons.
Yes, indeed. Your father Svath taught me all necessary knowledge and also gave me a certain general education. My father's friend, Fritz Seidel, taught me the art of arithmetic. My father taught me all kinds of manual skills, and my mother taught me how to cook, knit and crochet, sew and cut fabrics, from which I then sewed shirts and trousers on an old Singer sewing machine. Mother and father taught me together that working and knowing that one must be diligent and persevering in life, as well as that one should not indulge in mammon, and that one should be honest and modest, and not strive for fleeting glory. In the same measure, Svath also taught me these things. And for all that I was allowed to learn in every respect in my life, I am grateful to all those human beings who taught me in a trailblazing and instructive manner. If I had not had all these dear human beings at my side, then perhaps I would have gone stale and would never have been able to do what I was able to do in my life.
It all had to be like this, because your own destiny did not allow it otherwise.
If I had the chance to live my life over again, I would not try to change one bit of what my life's journey brought me. I would not only want to live through the highest heights again, but also all the deepest depths, because only all the negative and positive together make up what I am today, and what I was able to do, move, and accomplish in my life. But all this does not really belong here and not in an official contact conversation, which is why it is certainly better if we treat all talk about this as a private conversation and Ausschaubed separate it from the conversation report.
I can see no reason for this because it concerns matters of your life that should not be a secret and should also be accessible to other human beings. But now it is time again for me, because I still have some work to do. I would also like to tell you that Injana and Florina want to visit you in the near future, perhaps also Zafanat Paniak.
It will be a pleasure for me.
Then until the 3rd of February, my friend, when we will meet again after the correction work. Goodbye and Salome.
Farewell, Ptah. Stay well and give my regards to everyone.